That's pretty good stuff. Alright, so the topic of today's video, we are going into Tone World. I think I'm going to call this video, and possibly this series, just depending on how well this video does, like Tone Chaser or Tone Hunter, Tone Chaser, something like that. So you guys know that I'm in a band. We're called Otherlands. If you're on my channel from the video that Andrew and I did together of him remixing one of our songs, then you know that song is out now. Actually, it's on Spotify, pretty much everywhere. By the time this video comes out, it would have been out for like a week now, I guess. But I'll have the link to that song in the description of this video. Everyone in my band is pretty heavily influenced by a particular artist that I've mentioned on the channel before. His name is Novo Amor. So with that being said, and this is a whole nother discussion on like if you should copy other artists and like tones and stuff, but really, is there such thing as like an original guitar tone at this point? Probably not. So I get asked like by my bandmates pretty often, hey, do you think we can maybe try to do like a Novo Amor type guitar tone on this song, or like on this song we'd like to incorporate some Novo guitar tones, blah 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 blah, phaser, bleh. I hear about that all the time, specifically from my vocalist. He's always like, I want to do a Novo Amor guitar tone. So that's what we're going to work on today's video. In the Tone Chaser or Tone Hunter first video, we're going to try to achieve Novo Amor's guitar tone that he has done on specifically like his newest album. So on like Halloween is like a really good one, and Decimal, those both have really good guitar tones that we're going to try to look at today. But before we get started with the video, please do go ahead and smash that like button for Novo Amor, for crazy good guitar tones, and for coffee. Go ahead and smash the like button for all of those. After you smash that like button, please do hit the subscribe button as well if you're not already subscribed to the channel. I'm going to keep making videos on this kind of guitar stuff just like this. I'm getting to drums pretty soon. I'm actually getting pretty decent at drums. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I think I'm doing okay for a new newbie. So like I said, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button for more videos in the future from me. Let's go and get started with the video. Okay, so let's go ahead before we get started. I'm not really sure what all I can get away with on YouTube as far as like streaming other people's content and stuff. So we're gonna push the boundaries a little bit of what I'm actually sure I can do. I know people do like song like reviews and stuff, and they don't get their stuff taken down for that. So we're gonna go ahead and look at that, but we're gonna do a little bit of research into Novo Amor's guitar tone before we just start going around dialing knobs on my Kemper and whatnot. We're gonna do a little bit of research and see what this guy's working with. This particular live video of Novo playing in Halloween and his home is actually really cool, and it's a good for like researching what kind of stuff we see him using as well. Like I said, he's got this hollow body Trini Lopez or Fender Coronado. Looks like he's running into this. I don't know if he's running his vocals into this or his guitar into this, but that's some kind of effects he has going likely, because at the beginning of the video, let's take a look. Yeah, he punches that. He punches that, and it's like it starts like doing some kind of phaser effect. And I'm almost 100% positive that is the guitar that they were using on Decimal, because also there's like this documentary that shows them recording a lot of these songs, like Ed Tullett playing them right. So he's definitely using that hollow body guitar. Let's listen right here. This looks like a Vox AC15 right here. I'm not really sure what specific model, but maybe he's using the Vox AC15 on this. I'm not positive as to what amp he's using, but I'm positive at this point that he's definitely using this guitar on, looks like Halloween and also Decimal. So whatever kind of tone we're working with or going for is definitely going to be a hollow body guitar sound. You can get all that just from watching these YouTube videos and stuff, which is actually really cool. That's probably one of my favorite parts about Novo Amor, and then like just these other kind of projects like this. I love that documentary specifically, and I love this video and just seeing what he does at home, and like, I don't know, he's just really creative. With Novo specifically, I mean, we may not be this lucky in the future, but with Novo specifically, there's actually a Music Radar like post about Novo's studio stuff. Now this is 2 years old at this point, so I mean he's probably using some different stuff. However, we can go through this and take a look at some of the stuff he's doing. 2x Universal Audio Apollo audio interfaces and a UA LA610-2 preamp. So that may actually be really helpful whenever we're running. We can run my Kemper, and I have the Universal Audio stuff, and I have the 610A and 610B preamp emulations. So I may be able to run my Kemper through that 610A emulation and maybe try to get a little bit closer to what Novo's doing. So we'll see about that as well. All right, so guitars. Here's this one right here, and yeah, 1960s Fender Coronado. Sweet. So I'm pretty positive that that is definitely the guitar that he's using on both of those sounds. Some in the documentary he's using this Telecaster right here as well, but I'm pretty sure that's definitely what he's using, so that's what we're gonna roll with. So we have a 1970s Fender Deluxe Reverb, Audio Kitchen Cab, and a Vox AC-15. So that's not super detailed. So I think we're gonna take into consideration the hollow body guitar. We'll definitely try to, you know, match that as much as possible. And then the Vox AC-15 and the 1970s Fender Deluxe Reverb. I'm going to try to remake these guitar tones like with only my Kemper. I'm not going to use any other effects besides the Universal Audio 610A preamp. Yeah, I feel like once we have the guitar and the amps selected, then we can probably dial in the reverb or dial in any kind of like chorus or flanger stuff that he has going as well. So we're going to give that a try. Okay, so just a little word on the guitar tone before we get started. Like I said, we're going to be using my Kemper profiling amplifier directly. We'll be using that. I'm probably going to stick with Tone Junkie profiles because there's a 65 Fender Deluxe Reverb, and there's also several AC-15 and like AC-30 profiles, so I'm going to take a look at those. For my guitar, I'm lucky enough now to have in my possession a Dan Electric hollow body electric guitar. Someone at my church was kindly enough to kind of just give this to me as like permanent loan, I guess. So we're going to use that and see if we can get that in the ballpark of the tone. I know that it's probably not exactly the same as the Fender Coronado. It looks like that may have Filtertrons on it, and these are just single coil pickups. We're going to work with what we got and see if we can make it happen. Let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see right here, this is my microphone talking, and this second channel right here is my guitar. I am running my Kemper into my Universal Audio Apollo Twin. It's going through this channel, and it is hitting this Universal Audio 610A Unison preamp emulation. But yeah, let's go ahead, let's hop into Logic, and let's listen to some of these recordings a little bit. I think we're going to start with Decimal just because there's less going on with the guitar effects-wise. All I'm really hearing is like a clean guitar with some reverb possibly. So let's take a listen to this. I'm running a 65 Deluxe Reverb. It's on the normal channel, and this is profile number 2. We're running some delay, and the reverb is pretty thick, pretty long decay on that. Let's listen to this again. I don't know if there's any delay on the original. So I'm not really even hearing any delay. I'm hearing mostly, well, really I'm hearing mostly like the dry guitar sound because it's kind of blending in with the rest of everything. I think that the Deluxe Reverb sounds pretty close to the dry sound, and this Dan Electro is actually recreating it. I think I kind of like that, honestly. And then I would just add a little bit of reverb on that. So this has got spring reverb, but the mix is pretty high, and spring size is pretty huge. I would turn the decay down. So me personally, I would be chill with that. Like if someone was like, hey, I want you to get the Novo Amor Decimal guitar tone and put in this recording, I would do this probably. I mean, I could probably tweak it a little bit more, but I would go for something like this. And once you're in the mix, it's really you're not gonna hear it that much. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that he's probably using his Deluxe Reverb on that, and he's probably using the spring reverb on his Deluxe reverb amp. So I feel like that this is pretty close, and Tone Junkie profiles just sound really, really good. So we're gonna go ahead and call that done on this guy. I think that that is probably as close as I feel like I need to get to that guitar tone. Whenever there's so much of that tone in like the hollow body guitar, if I were to play my Telecaster and try to go for that, like it wouldn't work. It would not even be similar. So guitar definitely plays a huge role in this for this tone. Okay, so we're about to go ahead and take a look at Halloween as well. Looking at that video earlier, you can see his Vox AC-15 in the shot, and he also pressed some kind of button to start some kind of effect that he had in front of him. I don't know what that is. That may have just been the phaser that he was using for live. But we're going to go off the recorded tone, so we're going to have to really try to dial in these effects. And I'm going to say that's probably one of my weak spots. I'm not really super familiar with effects besides like overdrives, reverbs, delays. I don't really use tremolo and phaser and chorus, stuff like that. I don't use that a ton, so this is actually going to be really helpful for me. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this Halloween tone, give it a listen, and see how close we can get again. I think probably, though, after you get the effects dialed in, it's really not going to matter so much as about the amp. As long as you get that hollow body guitar sound and then the effects right, you're probably golden. All right, so here we are in Logic again. We're going to take a listen to specifically the intro because I don't want to get a copyright strike of any sort. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do the Vox AC15 approach for this. I don't know if that's what he's using, and honestly, I don't even know if this is the hollow body guitar. That doesn't sound nearly as hollow body to me as the Decimal did. I'm thinking that's probably his Telecaster maybe, or a Strat or something. It doesn't sound like a Strat. It's hard to tell with the phaser and everything. I'm going to go to a Vox AC15 patch. So here we are in the rig manager. And like I said earlier, I am going to go ahead and just probably stick with the Tone Junkie profile just because the profiles really are so good in my opinion. Let's see here. We have AC30, AC15. What is this? AC15 with jump channels. I don't know what AC15 HW means, but I know that I don't need the delay, and I probably... So I'm not thinking that this is a hollow body guitar. I know I've said it several times. His Telecaster does have Filtertrons, and I do not have a guitar that has Filtertrons, and that kind of goes back to the video I was making about investing in the home studio stuff. It would be awesome to have a guitar to get every one of these sounds. I mean, like, I typically think of Filtertrons and stuff like that as kind of like the praise and worship pickups because those are really, really popular in praise and worship right now. But obviously, I'm kind of left out in the dark without it for this Novo sound too. So maybe I will invest in that sooner than later. Let's take a listen to this again get another reference. Actually, I'm so idiot right now. So if you remember on the live video, he was definitely using his Fender Coronado, but it does have Filtertrons in it. Yeah, and then this Telecaster has as well. See, I'm thinking when he recorded it, he probably used this Tele with the Filtertrons. That's what I'm thinking. That's probably the case. We're just gonna try to dial in these effects. We're gonna go with it. I am gonna stick with this AC30 on the bright channel and see what we can get going. Alright, so this has a tremolo on it already. Let's go ahead and take a look and listen to that and see if that helps at all. This tremolo is definitely not what we need. Let's listen. There may be a slight tremolo in the recording, which would be cool just for a little bit of movement. Definitely not a tremolo in the recording. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. We'll leave that off. Let's listen to this phaser. Alright, I'm going to just turn the mix up on that. So we're definitely getting closer to it. I don't really, like I said, I don't really know a ton about this. That's not what we want, because that's doing like a... That sounded really dumb with me saying that, but... I don't know, like, I'm imagining it because on the rig manager it has these waves, and I don't know if maybe I need to like double my tap tempo. Maybe that would help, because like mine, the waves are longer, and it sounds like in the recording the waves are like subdivided. So maybe, alright, so I'm going to go in here and listen to this again, and I'm going to subdivide it. Alright, sweet, so our tap tempo is fast as crap now. Turn this mix down a little, maybe peak spread if I turn that down. Alright, I don't know what that's definitely not what we want. We're going in the wrong. This sounds like a really flubby, just like fart. So we're going to bring it up to 2 to 1 maybe? And then if we turn the mix way down, turn the mix up to 10. Maybe up a little more. Let's get a reference again. I'm losing my orientation. Let's take a look at depth. Turn my depth all the way down. So that gets rid of it completely. So we're going to put, the depth was all the way up. We're going to put it at 5. So this is all with a phaser. I feel like maybe if I feel like this is okay. I'm going to turn my mix up a little bit. I don't think a phaser is the only effect. Turn the feedback down. Now on this tremolo, I'm going to replace it. See if I can find like a chorus or something. There's a flanger. Let's take a look at a vintage chorus. So I'm going to turn that mix down to like 50 and see what that does. I really hope you guys aren't getting bored. We're getting closer, boys. Let's take a listen again. I feel like we're really like the pickups that were. I was kind of thinking that once we got to doing the effects and stuff, then these pickups wouldn't really matter as much. But I really think we're missing out a ton with these different pickups, in my opinion. I feel like we're pretty close, honestly. I feel like his is kind of similar to what I have, but maybe his mix is just up a little more on his stuff. I'm going to turn the depth down, rate down, mix up, and turn the mix up a little more. Okay, actually, the phaser off and just the chorus all the way up, mix all the way up, is kind of sounding more like it than anything else has so far. Huh. Alright, so I wonder if maybe if I turn my mix is all the way up, my depth's all the way up. Let's listen to that again. Okay, so I'm hearing that now, right? And then I'm also kind of hearing, hear me out, this phaser as well doing a slow motion. So we're going to go to 4 bars. I'm assuming this is how long the... Alright, let's see, feedback. Turn this mix down a little bit. Feedback down a little, maybe. It's like I want 2 of these choruses, basically. Like, can I copy and paste this in here? Let's go to phaser. No. Chorus. Vintage chorus. It's like I want both. I want 2 of these. I want more of this chorus. So let's just turn that up and do like the exact. Let's just do like the exact thing. Okay, so we got both of these going at about the same stuff. That's basically it. Like I feel like if we weren't listening side by side, okay, if I feel like if my vocalist and he was like, hey man, I want the Halloween guitar tone on this recording, and I made this and I sent it to him, he'd be chill with it. I feel like he would be good with it. So I may call it right here. Let me listen to this one more time. I'm really thinking there, like if I listen very carefully, you can just hear those Filtertron pickups. I feel like that's got a lot to do with it in this. I'm going to call it right there. I think that this would honestly be fine like I said, if we weren't listening to them side by side, because if you listen to them side by side, they're still pretty similar. So I have a feeling that if you weren't listening to them side by side and someone was just like, hey man, do you think you can make the Halloween guitar tone, then they would be okay with this. And yeah, I'm going to call it. I think that we basically got the decimal sound and the Halloween guitar tone sound. And a ton of it came from this hollow body guitar. And I feel like we could get even closer if we were to have the right pickups. I think something that I learned, obviously I learned that the pickups and the build style of the guitar actually do mean like a ton. Typically I'll think sometimes, when you're running through different amps or different amp profiles, whatever, and different effects, different overdrives. I even ran it through a preamp on this. So like it wasn't just going into a clean preamp. So you would think with all that stuff and all these different factors in the tone equation that really the pickup or like the build style of the guitar wouldn't really even matter that much. Definitely specifically with like hollow body versus like a solid body guitar, that made a huge difference. If I were to have approached those guitar tones with my Telecaster, especially like decimal, then we wouldn't have even gotten in the ballpark in my opinion. I think Halloween was probably made with a solid body guitar, but those Filtertrons, I'm telling you, those definitely just have like a weird like scooped sound to them that other pickups just don't have. So I think that probably had a really, really big impact as well on like the tone that we ended up with on the Halloween. I was a little convicted though, honestly. Watching Novo's documentary and going through some of Novo's stuff and trying to figure out what kind of tools he was using to just achieve like his guitar tone. This entire time I'm thinking like, it's really cool that he has these sounds and he's obviously really gifted at this and just talented and he has like a crazy good ear. But he probably wouldn't even spend as much time as I just spent trying to pick out a guitar tone. He probably just picked up a guitar, plugged it into one of his amps, hit his effect, put it in his expensive preamp, and went ahead and started recording a song. So, I mean, I don't want to get caught up in the minutia of trying to figure out all these different things and not make music, basically. So I'm glad that I know how to set up those two different guitar tones now. But like I was saying, I said a couple of times, like if we're not listening back to back or like if you're not listening to the tones side by side, then they all sound pretty similar. And I think for music writing's sake and for like the song's sake, or you could have replaced Novo's tones with either one of the tones that I came up with and it wouldn't have taken away from the song, in my opinion. Anyways, let me know if you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what kind of guitar tones you want me to go for. If you guys want to hear some heavy tones, I'll give that a try. If you guys have some other kind of chill music you want me to go for, some praise and worship tones you want me to go for, let me know and we will sit down and we will work through those together. And I would be happy to do that for you guys. And like I said, it was a ton of fun. Please do smash the like button for guitar tones. Hit the subscribe button for more videos from me. I'll see you guys later.